Hi everybody, welcome to yet again another episode of This.is.life.Podcast, where we get to listen, learn,
and laugh.
Now today we are discussing about
La Familia. La Familia.
La Familia.
La Familia.
La Familia.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Situations in families. Yeah.
Internal affairs.
Internal affairs in our families. Yeah, why is your voice low?
It's low.
Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel like mine is more projected.
Today.
Yeah. Are you not excited, Mark, to be here with me?
I am. I'm wrapping my mind around the whole topic because we've been discussing about it for some hours now.
Since 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Because when we were coming here, we were discussing about how we have not heard of any of our friends who have come from healthy families.
I think out of the fact that there are so much stories pertaining dysfunctional families.
Yes.
That we fail to hear of someone who has been able to grow up
in a healthy
family.
Yeah.
And how traumatizing at times that particular setup of being in a family affects not only the parents but also the children.
Sure. And sometimes the children might not realize it when they are young.
Yeah.
They get to realize it when they are much older.
Even the parents, they never realize how much it hurts the children when they were young.
Yes. Because at that point they think about themselves.
Yeah.
They're like, he is bad to me, she is bad to me.
Yeah.
I am hurting. And
to solve it.
Yes, how to solve it. Yeah. The other day, I was talking to some people, my friends as well. Let me just talk about my friends first, and then my mentees.
There's someone who said,
this is Sharon who said,
our friends' content, our friends' stories are content.
Yeah.
A friend of mine.
But as long as you don't mention the name, it's anonymous. Bear with us.
Confidentiality.
Yes. We don't mention who you are. But you should feel nice. Like, your stories are getting into these platforms. Joking, on a light note. Okay, so they said that they don't understand why their parent chose to stay in an abusive family. And sometimes when they think about that, they don't want to blame them, but partly it's also, she feels like it's the fault of the one who chose to stay. Yes. Yeah. So there's that aspect. And then now there's the aspect of people who are younger than me now confiding in me and telling me that they don't like it at home. They don't like it at home because there are wrangles, conflicts at home, and it's not sitting well with them.
But I think it's the kind of expressions that parents give, especially when they are in a feud or when they in some kind of disagreement. At times they don't realize that no matter how physical, it can be physical, it can be verbal.
Yes.
It can be mental. They don't realize that whenever that happens, most children that suffer such occurrences, suffer through such kind of environments, they are quick to pick up. They are hypersensitive towards everything at most. So if at all maybe a child who is in their upbringing is being raised in an environment in a hostile environment where the parents each and every time are quarreling here and there, physical, mentally, emotionally, so even verbally, then the child ends up being, by the time the child reaches at an age where, let's say as a teenager,
yes,
they become hypersensitive towards everything that is around them.
Mm-hmm.
And I also realized this when I myself was now growing up, whereby I wouldn't get into fights, or I wouldn't want to get into fights,
mm-hmm.
knowing the particular extent it can hurt someone.
Oh.
And not only can it hurt someone,
mm-hmm.
it won't hurt the third person, but it can also hurt myself.
You. Because you have seen how bad it can get.
I've seen how bad it can be. Yeah.
I get it, because most of the time, I don't think, maybe they do realize it, parents, and maybe they just do it unconsciously, like maybe they really don't know and it just happens because they are human as well.
Yeah.
But whatever action takes place at home, whatever happens at home, whether good or bad, the kids pick it up, as you have said.
True.
The kids notice. And then the kids are able, if they're old enough, if it's a 4-year-old, they might not be able to know what's happening.
Yeah.
But if it's a 10-year-old and above, then they are able to see that mom is not good to dad, that dad is not good to mom. And then now the resentment chips in, or the fear.
Yeah, I wouldn't
say resentment,
yeah.
say fear.
Yeah.
The fear, or the lack of feeling. You don't feel safe now with.
You don't feel safe. You don't feel comfort.
Yes.
You don't feel loved.
Yeah.
You don't feel loved.
Because now if one of your parent does not show love to the other parent, you also feel like they don't love you.
Yeah, true. I tend to think of it as I'm still around that point of hypersensitivity.
Okay.
Where even in a group setting, in a group setting, you realize someone will tend to pick up when moods are off. That when someone from maybe, let's say 20 minutes ago, you are in a happy mood, everything is going well, then all of a sudden words start getting exchanged and you realize in a few minutes this won't end up in a nice place. And now it narrows down to the fact that of how you've been able to grow. You've seen how at an instant how your parents have been able to be happy, then the next day both of them are not talking to each other.
Do you know that leads to which attachment style? Disorganized. Disorganized is an attachment style where, like, you could never predict what could happen in your home. Like, one minute you feel okay, one minute it's good, the next minute it's
chaos.
It's wrestling.
Yeah.
The next
Hey.
Why am I laughing?
It's very, okay, I think the view of wrestling.
Why have I even said wrestling? Okay. Yes, so now you're not able to predict.
Yeah.
So now what that makes you feel is that you can never be sure with anyone.
True.
You can never.
True. And something you had said of how we had talked of how kids or other parents are not able to realize how much they're hurting the kids. At that particular point in time, they are, as much as they're thinking of themselves, there will always be that bit of guilt that they always know that the child will get hurt.
Yeah.
It may not be physically, but I think I've had these statements in a couple of situations. Wachana na mtoto.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I agree.
So
they
know it will hurt,
yes,
but they don't know to what extent it hurts.
Yeah, true, because even as we talked of staying, most people stay for the children.
Especially for the children.
For the children.
Yeah.
So they do things with the children in mind.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that whatever they are doing also like affects them. And as you have said, like they don't know to what extent.
Yeah. And that's why you even realize parents staying in abusive relationships out of the fact that I have a child and I wouldn't want that child. I mean, they will stay in an abusive relationship, but try to always
cover the child.
Yeah, to cover the child, and also try to cover the fact that there is some kind of quarreling going on in the family.
They'll try to hide it.
So as they try to hide it, kids will know.
Yeah, let me tell you, kids, we have brains.
Yeah.
They do know. They do notice.
And when you say it that way, I remember.
Everyone has a brain. Sorry, they're conscious of what's happening.
Conscious.
Yeah, they're conscious.
So I remember there was a time we were kind of arguing with my sisters, and I tried to hide the fact from my mom, and my mom told me. They're not stupid. My sisters are not stupid.
Yeah, they're not.
I think there comes a certain threshold in terms of age, whereby maybe when a kid is young, you can be able to lie to them.
Yes.
Try to sweeten, try to tell them some sweet words and everything. But there comes a threshold where the conscience now grows. The conscience picks up everything in their surrounding.
They will notice you are sad.
Yeah.
They might even ask you, Maki, umekasirika?
Yeah. And in that point also, some will always tend to ask when parents are fighting. They'll always tend to ask. So the guilt also narrows down to the kid, where the kid will also ask concerning the parent.
Yeah.
Am I the one? Is it me?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Now
Am I the
think
problem?
that they are the ones who are causing this mood. The parent. Oh my God.
It's rough.
It is. It is a
really
lot.
Rough. It's really rough.
But don't you think that, okay, fine, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand about the previous generation and the fact that staying in a marriage was prestigious. Like, it's honor, giving your children the name of a man, gives them all that respect. But don't you think you should consider that maybe staying will be more harmful than leaving?
Staying will be more harmful than leaving. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I have ever asked this question. Why is it that our grandparents lived together for so long that at this particular age, 2 years maximum, we have divorce, we have baby daddies. Then you tend to ask, what was different then that is different now?
It's the honor that came with marriage. Let me tell you, we'll do anything to stay in a marriage. Why am I saying this with so much conviction as if I was in those times? It's just that I feel like I do get it because I've talked to my grannies here. Like, they honored, they valued, no matter what the husband did.
Yeah.
And why do we all blame the husband? Anyway,
but it's not always.
Not always, yeah.
Okay, at this particular, it's not always.
But then, mostly then kitambo, it was, we could say.
Yeah, I also think.
Yeah, then, right? Yeah. But now no.
Now, any side is guilty.
Yeah, any side is guilty. Yeah. You know what? That has made me remember a conversation I had with someone. And they said some very wise words. And they told me that maybe the reason they stay is so that we don't stay. They stayed for us not to stay. They stayed for us to learn of what happens if you stay.
I think the key word there is to learn.
Yeah.
Because if I'm saying this hypothetically. Yeah. That if at all maybe you are if a parent stays in an abusive relationship, maybe let's say it's for that case. Yeah. Then it will also become some kind of obligation for the child. Yes. To also learn, who do I want to stay with? You get?
Yeah. Like, it's so difficult because, parents, sometimes you teach us of who we don't want to be with. Yeah. Like, you can teach us of who we want to be with and teach us of who we really don't want to be with. Like, you can see somebody.
I saw this meme. Kwa mara ya mwisho, watu wa nyumbani.
Mnataka kabila gani? I know the person who posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're saying something.
I was saying, like, you learn the way you're saying you learn the learning bit. Like, from anyone's experience, they will get to know what they want for their significant other.
Yeah.
Either they want qualities of what they have seen at home, or they want nothing at all as what they have seen at home.
Talking of nothing at all. Okay, not nothing at all.
It can be nothing at all, but most...
Talking of the options, of the options is given.
Okay.
Look at it this way.
All right.
That maybe out of all that, we watch movies.
Yes, we do.
We watch cartoons. We watch rom-coms.
Yeah.
So maybe we can add to that option whereby the child would want the kind of happy endings.
I think that's what happens. The fantasy. Yeah.
All happily ever after.
Yes. Who doesn't want that?
Who wouldn't
want that?
And I think also, even when parents get into such, there always has to be, I'm here
to stay
for happily ever after.
Yes, I don't think there's anyone who gets into a marriage like wishing for it to end. That's a sociopath.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you even want that? Everyone gets into something into marriage knowing that it is till death do us part.
Yeah.
So we understand.
I was watching. I've told you about My Wife and Kids.
Yes.
I'm watching that sitcom.
Guys, it's not his wife.
No.
Kids.
No.
I've said it.
I was telling you about My Wife and Kids.
He doesn't have a wife.
It's a show.
Yeah.
It's a series called My Wife and Kids. So in that particular show, the guy wants the kind of living where the wife would also stay at home and everything, but the wife also wants to get out and work. But even in all that, they learn to live within that circumstance of they're both working, and even in the midst of when they're in an argument, the child, even the little one, will pick that kind of sense
like
that you guys are fighting.
Are not okay.
Yeah. So, but they would always try to talk it out. So now comes to my question.
Yes.
When parents are in that bit of arguing or rather lashing out at each other, there will be that fear of the child now saying, you guys are fighting. But now I think that's with our parents. I don't think, for me, I always sit down and think that it won't happen for our own.
For our own.
They will have the courage to ask.
Yes.
So, and I think that's also that bit of evolution. So when you evolve, things now become...
The millennial and Gen Z.
Yeah.
Gen Z as parents, we will...
Yeah.
Because we have gone through so much trauma from our millennial parents.
Yeah, we won't want ours to inherit the same.
Yeah.
So now, I think there should be kind of what should I call it? Methods of conflict resolution. A way in which when the child will know that things are not okay within the family.
But we are working on it.
Yes. I think also a measure to take is to also I think now you're talking of the measures.
Yes.
the measures in which to now avoid such kind of traumas, because honestly speaking, they are a lot.
It is a lot. That's why people are going to therapy.
They're going to therapy.
That's why people are not committing to relationships.
True.
That is why people are saying they don't want to get married.
Out of that fear.
Yeah.
Out of that
not
fear.
Me though, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't say not me though.
Know me.
I know what I want.
Yeah, I know what I want to do.
but now, yeah. What did I say?
You're talking about the measures now.
Yeah, the measures. Yeah. I think when now the child will come and ask, "Are you guys fighting?"
Mm-hmm.
The parent should own it and say, "Yes, we are."
They sit you down.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, proceed.
They yes, we are fighting, but it will be okay.
Yeah, it will be okay, and it has nothing to do with you. We love you.
Yeah.
Love you. Such things. Like, I think watching movies is also amazing because it's giving me such...
Rather than usilete mtoto kwa hii mambo.
Hiyo kitu ni kama umesikia kadhaa.
Nimesikia mara mingi bana. I've gone here, I've had that, I've gone here, I've had that. So yeah. it kind of comes up like
kwa neighbors.
So it now becomes like it's not a new word in the dictionary.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any point like conflicts should lead to physical abuse.
True.
By all and every means, avoid that. Avoid it getting physical.
Even the Constitution says.
But.
Yeah, but I really don't think.
It still happens.
It's inhumane.
It is.
It's very inhumane.
Yeah, dehumanizing. It's like you're tripping someone of their dignity.
True.
Yeah.
True. And you also realize that this other person, you guys are of the same conscience.
Yes, we are both adults.
We're both adults.
Why are you taking me as your child? And even if I'm your child, you're not supposed to hit your child.
True. Yeah, so I think this is honestly, that's my point of view of
the conflict resolution.
Yeah. Whereby speak it out. I mean, instead of waiting for the children to know, or rather, like the children know but don't want to tell them.
Yes.
Just tell them things are not okay.
Yeah, but it will be fine, and assure them it will be fine.
I think out of that now comes that's now like nurturing communication, the communication aspects in a child.
Yeah.
Whereby even if they grow up to even maybe let's say marry, they will also learn to communicate the same. So it's some kind of a cyclic kind of nature.
Yes.
Whereby if at a particular point there's quarreling, there's communication, then there's resolving and resolution.
Yeah.
Then it will be passed down to all the rest of maybe the descendants.
It will, because if you do the healing now, then the rest of the generation are more likely to be to grow up in healthy families. Now, my point of what were we talking about? The solutions now. What I think. First, nimesema hiyo it should not get physical at all.
Yeah.
And then, if possible, if you are arguing, if you are angry, and you really think it will get like loud and all that, because you should be knowing what type of person you are, your character, you know, your tempers, you know that. Chukua watoto, take the kids, take them to the neighbor's place.
True.
Take them to the neighbor's place.
To the grandparents.
The grandparents' place. Take them, and then now, be left in the house.
Mundo.
Don't fight.
Man on man.
Don't fight though.
Wrestling.
Don't wrestle.
The house becomes a ring.
No, not that. Yeah, then now bring the kids back. And then please learn to apologize to your kids.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, now of all that, as we have said that we don't know whether this is an African thing, because we have not yet heard of healthy African parenting. maybe please guys, if you are grown up from a healthy family, please tell us how it's like. Most people will learn from that, okay? And appreciate that as well. So as I was saying, you will find that it's very rare for a parent to apologize to you.
True.
You know what happens instead of apologizing?
Follow up.
No, the reverse. Like, I don't know what to call. They make you feel like now you're responsible to keep.
See, they're following up.
What he's saying. No, they make you feel like you're the one who they follow up, but I just want to say like you're the one to maintain this relationship. There's a video I saw of a woman saying, could we upload that video?
Yeah, we can. We'll try.
We'll do that. So this woman was basically saying, why does society like pin it on the child to keep the relationship between them and the parent? Yet the parent is the senior most adult and they know very well of what they did. But the society will be asking, but mbona uongeleshangi mama yako? Wouldn't you ask the parent now, lakini mbona huongeleshi mtoto wako? Why are you pinning it down to the child?
And it also that bit of it, I think I've had it whereby there is that bit of usijali wewe ndio utaleta wazazi wako pamoja. When we didn't have feelings when they are coming together. You have to, you know.
Fuck, you did not just ask that.
Okay. I'm saying that because I know at some point, we will get to that stage.
Yeah. I cannot unhear that.
But it's
Why is it the responsibility of the child to bring you together?
It's you want the child to act like Kofi Annan. A child is a child. A child is not a mediator. Not a mediator. The mediator is the child is not a third party.
No. Oh Lord. You know what? It has made me come up with another solution. Every child who is going through such, please let it stick in your brain that it has nothing to do with you. You were not there when these two adults met and decided to stay together. You were not there when they even decided to have you.
True.
So, you should not blame yourself. It has nothing to do with you. Yeah.
And I also think now it's also a matter of personal choice, whereby it's, as much as there are also feelings involved in everything, even ourselves, as I'm also saying that we'll get to that point later on in life, that we'll be getting onto that point later on in life, we should also learn to appreciate this bit of fact that we have learned from what our parents, from what we've seen from our parents, that we should also, I think, if we learn to cultivate healthy relationships from a point blank, from friendships, from relationships, that bit, that if I'm able to cultivate a positive or a healthy relationship with my neighbor, that will play a key role, a very vital role, that even when you get into marriage, into more serious relationships, you'll realize when you are wrong. You'll realize what to do when you are wrong. And what particular course to take. Yes, man is to error. But also, man is to learn.
We are intelligent beings, so it's possible, very much possible for us to change, for us to learn and relearn, and let's normalize healthy relationships. Like you see how we are normalizing dysfunctional families. Now let's normalize healthy relationships, as you have said, across all types of relations. Yeah.
Final thing. I think cultivating healthy relationships that will narrow down to impacting a child, I believe that it will make a better society. A society with values.
Yeah.
A society with principles. We won't have cases of leaders growing to be greedy.
Yeah, who have lots of baggage, trauma-affected leaders.
True.
Yes.
True. So, out of that, we are cultivating a society that is better for everyone, henceforth.
Yes. And it begins at home.
Charity begins
at home. Yeah. So may God heal our families. Guys, we have wrapped it up. And let's get to 1,000 subscribers before the year ends. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's get to 1,000 before the year ends.
We're heading to our second year.
Yes.
As This.is.life.Podcast.
Yeah.
We also want to thank you for being part of us. So be part of us as we continue.
Please,
growing.
And tell friends and other friends. Otherwise, till next time.
Cheers.
Bye.